watching Wilderness Quest Outdoors with Jay, Leah, and Jasper the cat. The first half of this video will be us looking for flint. The second half of this video will be me flint napping. Armadillo! There's an armadillo. I've never seen one of those. You doing good, Jasper? Good boy. It is dark. I know you guys can't really see this, but it's dark as heck. So it is 4-ish a.m., 3:37 a.m. And Jasper is looking for bears. We are going camping with my cat, Jasper. Sketchy woods. Middle of nowhere. To collect rock for flint napping, survival, and bushcraft. Alright. Parked at trail parking here. Alright, so on the way up, all the free parking, there was somebody in each spot. So we are at a trail parking, hiking trail parking. We're probably just going to sleep here until the sun comes up and then set up the tent at one of these spots when somebody leaves. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to go and look for... Okay, so I found an extremely high quality quartzite that I could make stone tools from. Knives, arrowheads. It even works for flint and steel. I'm going to show you all of it. It's still dark. You could hear the river here. Alright. Walking out onto this bridge above the river where I found the quartzite. It's still dark out. I'm gonna try fishing in that. There's all kinds of bear and moose here, I was reading. All of that is quartzite. Alright. Cool. Still too dark to film me, though. I'll head down there in a minute. Alright, so the sun is up enough that we could get down here now. It's still dark as heck in the woods. We got Jasper. Birds are chirping. Let's get down to this river. Slippery rocks. Quartzite's right here already. Just making sure there's no honey badgers or something. Still dark. This looks a lot brighter than it does out here. Right there.
Nice. He's good. What do you think, Jasper?
Did you see it?
Yeah.
All the way down to the bottom.
Cool. Here you go.
quartzite right here. And I see a partially detached flake here. Let me try a hammerstone. It started raining out, but there's quartzite everywhere here. So I'm just going to test a quick flake. Watch out for my cat. I actually found a grainier piece that I want to test to show you the difference in the rock. A little less grainy. More fine grains. And this stuff works better. Jasper's hopping from rock to rock here, distracting me. So I'm going to try to make a spear point out of this piece and see what I can come up with. Fine-grained quartzite. Look at this cat. Look at these flakes coming off. That's excellent for a blow dart. But you can break it with your hands. All quartzite, pretty much, you could break with your hands. Got some stress cracks going through it. This is a little too thin for quartzite, but I like how it looks. In those areas and likes to snap in half.
It might not be.
Getting there. Mist is rolling in. Yep. I'm going to try to just run some tiny flakes this way, but it's more than likely going to break it. Percussion on that thin of a quartzite flake, but I'll try to at least get little ones. See how it just broke it right off? Tip there? That's what happens with quartzite. That's why these points were thicker. Thicker than flint. Just trying to make a bifaced tool out of a super thin flake. I don't think it's going to work. Now that all of the thin edges are gone and more towards the base of the blank, it is a lot more sturdy and I'm able to flake it better. Of what's in the book, what the artifacts look like from the Paleo period, and you can compare to what I made right here. Pretty thin. Flakes on both sides, but not all the way on that side. If I wanted to run better flakes on this flat base, I would use indirect issue stick. The issue stick makes it way easier to run longer flakes on tougher material like this. It's kind of hard to do by hand, but in a little bit we'll see what the artifacts from this area look like from this rock. Sharp as heck. Cutting edge is sharp too. Jasper. Jasper, rock test. Approved? Approved. Alright, so I got my Vermont chert spear point right here. Black chert fluted point. For comparison to and actually the quartzite flake is about the same thickness, maybe a little thinner. But you see how brittle it is when working it, but when it's finished, it's tough. Like I could probably throw that a bunch and it won't break. So from the bedrock right here, that is quartzite, all of this. I tried to run a flake up here and it hinged out. There's brook trout in there. I'm just driving down the forest road and I'm seeing this on the sign faces. Do you see that? You see how that's not worked and the edges are? Perfect. Alright, so I'm on a forest road and I just want to take a look down into these little creeks. Oh, in there, guys. Look at that. Oh, I want to go get the rod and I wish I had my fly pole. Oh man. Look at that. Wow. It's humid. My hair is crazy. Beautiful. Most of that is quartzite. Man. Look at that. So I'm driving through the woods, holding this thing in my hand, being like, why couldn't I get the flakes to run on the opposite side? Why do it keep snapping in half on me? How do I support this correctly? Am I not doing this right for this material? And then I drive 10 miles down the forest road deep into the woods, and there's a random sign with, I guess I did it right. Cool. That way. There's nothing there. What you doing, Jasper? See that? That's gonna be this year's hunting rock. Get some squirrels, turkeys and stuff. And later on, it was used for all types of games, small, even rabbits, down to rabbits and squirrels. So this is actually high-level engineering, primitive technology. This was used to get people through the Ice Age. You attach the spear to the Atlatl, and this little point puts all that power into throwing the spear at the target. So as this fits right into here, there's often a rest carved for the dart to sit on to make it easier to hold and throw. Like that. You okay? That hurt? Sorry. So we got a few things to test this on. We got a cantaloupe. See how far that went in. Pretty far. That far. Good 4-5 inches. Tip still razor sharp. It's got squash on it now. Spaghetti squash is hard. So absolutely nothing goes to waste on Wilderness Quest Outdoors channel. We're gonna have this for dinner tonight. Spaghetti squash. Okay, let's try the cantaloupe. Let's see. How far in did that go? I wasn't able to tell. The point out. We've got to look at it. Pull the pine pitch off. All in all, it still looks pretty good. The tip is a little dinged. But that did some good wounds on these targets. Like, it's pretty wide. So, we successfully crafted, this would be a woodland period arrowhead out of quartzite, the same stone that ancient people that lived right here used. I made the same kind of stone point. We successfully tested it on a spaghetti squash and cantaloupe, and we got the rock right down in this beautiful creek right outside my bushcraft camp. So using traditional tools and primitive technology, we successfully made this spear point, Atlatl dart spear point. People call it an arrowhead, but it's a spear point. And we used all of our traditional methods here. So we used a flake of stone of quartzite to carve this groove. Dart on the fire. We collected the stone from the creek, and we successfully, using traditional methods, antler, bone, and even some copper, to create and recreate this ancient, primitive stone tool technology that ancient people used to survive. And we used the Ice Age style Atlatl to throw this spear into the ground, into a cantaloupe, and into a spaghetti squash with little to no damage to that spear point. The tip is a little dinged, that's it. And I have successfully hunted these spaghetti squash and cantaloupe so that the camera girl can eat tonight. I am a successful hunter. I brought home dinner. Now we're gonna eat it. We got some meat too, but I didn't hunt that at all. I got it from the farm. And for our final test, we're gonna test the point cutting meat just by hand. We'll see how it goes. Cuts through plastic pretty good. All right. See if it's still sharp. We're gonna use the edge to cut a groove. Still pretty sharp. That is a trout eating a piece of meat I threw in the water. That's as far as it'll zoom.
There he is. There he is.
Got the smoke from smoking our meat on the fire pit. We're gonna eat that. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. So sub if you want to see more primitive survival skills, bushcraft, all this kind of stuff. Flint napping, whatever you like. Subscribe.